All right, we're live finally. Good Lord, that seemed like took forever. It is 8 o'clock, at least showing 8 o'clock here for me in Arizona, where I'm Mountain Time currently. So thank you for hanging in there. I know that for Pacific time, it is dinner time at 6 o'clock, and I wanted to do it at 7 my time, 6 Pacific, but I want to be mindful that many people, again on Pacific time, are having dinner. So, and then I did a little poll to see if the 6 or 7 work better. Most people said 7 Pacific, so here we are. So, but I'm glad we're able to get this thing going. I've been kind of chomping at the bit to talk to you. I don't do these that often, as I mentioned before. So when I do get a chance to do them, I really enjoy it. I love interacting with everybody in this forum. So let's give YouTube setting out the notifications. I'm kind of watching over here. So I'm going to give it a chance to do its thing. While we're doing that, I just want to thank for the people that are kind of jumped in early. Mike from Nebraska was in here 3 hours early, I think it was. Any Adventure came in early. Hello. Cruising Couple just came in here a little bit ago. Julie and Mark, hello, welcome in. Christine, who I had dinner with her and her husband at the steakhouse on this last trip. Hello to you. Stephen Robertson made it. Jeff Golick made it. And hello to the wifey. I see you guys are watching it together. So hello to the wifey as well. Eric's in here. Good evening. James Baker, hello, welcome in. Esperanza, hello, fellow beach bonds, hello, welcome in, Esperanza. Yeah, what? And I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. You know what was kind of cool? Hi, Linda, welcome in. So what was kind of cool? We're just kind of waiting for more people to come in. Rich and Bo, I see you there, just coming in. What was really cool was the whole beach bumps thing just kind of reminded me of it when Esperanza said it. I've done that from day one. For those of you that have been following me a long time and been there with me, watched the early videos. Beach bumps was a thing I kind of came up with when I was brainstorming this, and my one of my nieces, she was doing some marketing stuff, and we were just talking about social media marketing, this and that, and she was talking about having some kind of catchphrase, and I just beach bums just sounded really good with the beach life, and I wanted something to go with the beach life, so we went beach bums. What was really cool, so long story short, especially on this cruise, I noticed it more as people were coming up to me and saying, hey, beach bum, or hey, we're fellow beach bums, or that kind of thing. And I love that the term caught on and people are embracing it. So I love it. So awesome. The other thing I want to talk about again is we're just kind of waiting for people to come in, but we'll get started. I promise we'll get started, because I know people have questions and kind of want to hear about this cruise, and I'm just kind of watching the numbers come in. So I just want to make sure we get started when we get a good forum. But one other thing I wanted to talk about. So the whole hang loose thing that I do. I was explaining this. Somebody was asking me about it, and they were from Hawaii, and they were asking me, was I from Hawaii, or what was the significance of it? So I was explaining to them that before cruising, my passion, my love was Hawaii. We went to Hawaii multiple times, and since cruising came along, I mean, I went to Maui in 2021, but cruising's kind of overtaken that. But I love both, right? I love Hawaii and I love cruising. So this was kind of my connection, right, from cruising to Hawaii, was bringing in the hang loose with the two. So there, for those of you that are wondering why I always throw up the hang loose, it's just my way of marrying the two loves, my Hawaii and cruising. All right, we've got a pretty good group in here. I'm not going to go through every name, but I see a lot of people popping in, so thank you, appreciate it. I'm just kind of buying some time early on, but thank you to everybody that's joined me. I see Jasper, Kitty Cat, Shannon and Paul, welcome in. Thank you. Annette from Phoenix, Arizona. Hello, Jackie. Jana's in here. Lindsay Koosgaard, Mike Koosgaard. Hello, April, my friend. I'll be talking about you in a second. I see you. All right, let's get started. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I really, really appreciate it. So let's get started. So the first thing is, let me talk about pre-cruise, and go ahead and throw your questions in. Don't feel bad about interrupting. I don't mind jumping around. Those of you who watch my live shows, I don't mind jumping around a little bit. I have my notes up here to keep me steady, but I don't mind jumping around. The only thing I would ask, hello Michelle, I see you saying hello there to me in the chat. The only thing I would ask, just so that it catches my eye, just because as people start chatting and it starts getting busier, if you have a question, if you could like put like question in all capital letters before it or something like that, just again, as I look down so it catches my eye. So if you could do that, that would just be helpful to me. There's my friend Kathy. I see Kathy down there. Hello, my friend. I can't wait to hopefully cruise with you again. See Noel Sorrells. I see a question. April, how does one get early fast debarkation before everyone else? Well, I'll be honest with you. They have the process. I noticed that this last time around, you know, it was probably one of the more smoother debarkations that I've experienced. You know, we were out of there fairly quick. My friend's wife got separated from us, and that took us longer. We were just kind of waiting for her outside. But to get off the ship was probably one of the quickest times that I got off the ship. So, and you know, they have people. They're calling people to come up. But to answer your question, April, let me just get right to the point. If you're an early person, get your stuff, keep your luggage, and walk off the ship early when they have that early, I think it's a 30-minute window where it didn't really matter what zone you're in or anything else. You can just get off the ship. So I would say keep your luggage and then jump off early when they have that 30-minute window before they start the zone process. You pay for faster fun is what Christine is saying. That's an option. You can pay for faster fun. Checking into the terminal was definitely easy. I'll talk about that in a section. Oh, debarkation, not embarkation. Okay. So pre-cruise, we stayed at the Hotel Maya. This was my second time staying there. Last time was March when we came out for the Celebration cruise. So we stayed at the Hotel Maya. We really loved it. The only negative, and it's not because of the Hotel Maya, it's for us. We got here late because it was after work, and by the time we got out here, it was 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever it was. And or 9 o'clock, and so we didn't really have a whole lot of time to enjoy the grounds, enjoy the hot tub, all those things. So we kind of said this time around we're going to leave earlier so we can get there. So we all took off a half day from work on Thursday, and then drove out there. So we were able to get there early enough to enjoy it, and so it was really nice. We were able to enjoy a dinner at Fuego Restaurant. The restaurant there, I'd heard that it was on the expensive side, and I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's pricey, but not. I would say in comparison to other hotel places, it's about the same. Maybe not that kind of thing, but it wasn't really bad. They did have a $20. I think it was at my buddy Evan got it hamburger. I don't know if they have this all the time, but they had a special. It was hamburger, fries, and a beer for $20. So that wasn't too bad. I think I got the chicken tortilla soup and the street corn, like a little street corn thing, and that was really good. But that was, I think like $24 or something like that. So anyway, it wasn't terrible, but I really enjoyed the meal. The meal was good. The hotel grounds were nice. Hotel Maya is a nice hotel and highly recommended for families. I agree. I agree. How crowded can the boat feel from your perspective? I'll talk about that in one sec here, Kristen. Hey Jim, welcome in, bud. It was delicious. Yeah. Oh, the hamburger. It was the hamburger delicious. Honey, question. Are you working your way to Diamond, and how far off are you? I'm not purposely working my way to Diamond like I was with Platinum, because I was gold before the shutdown. And so that one I was purposely trying to get to. The space between Platinum and Diamond is so big that it's not a focus for me. So yeah, if I get there at some point, great. But let me answer this. So I was going to address this later, but I just want to make sure I don't forget. The boat, for as many people, they're sailing at pretty full capacities, 3,300, 3,400, whatever people. For the most part, it didn't feel very crowded. They do a really good job of having different activities going on and having people in different places. With that means you sometimes have to pick and choose what you want to do. I'll tell you the one negative, and it was kind of on my list down here to get to. And I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it because I want to talk about it later, where the crowding is kind of, for me, very noticeable. So I'll get that too. So Kristen, stay tuned. I will talk about that a little bit more. Anisha, welcome in. Thank you. Question: when are you cruising in January? The answer to that is January 6th. I will be on the Radiance again January 6th. I'm pre-diamond. Yes, you are. We love that we're able to buy a s'mores kit at the Hotel Maya. The kids. I didn't know that you could do that. That is cool. I know that they had the little snack bar area or whatever next to the front desk, but that's really cool that you give us a s'mores kit. Now that's what I was just going to talk about. Perfect segue. So after eating at the Fuego restaurant, we had a first-time cruiser with us. So we took her, Evan and I took her for a walk down to the Queen Mary at night just to see the Queen Mary in that area in the evening time. So we walked to the Queen Mary, walked to the Long Beach Cruise Terminal, took some pictures. For those of you that follow me on Facebook, I did a little funny and said, hey, am I here too early? So just having a good time with it, but it was beautiful. It was really nice. And that was really nice. Anyway, we came back just to wrap up the whole pre-cruise Hotel Maya to April's point. They had the fire pits. We did the hot tub. That's where I ran into, even though I've been conversing with April for a long time, her and her family were in the hot tub. So I came in, sat and chatted with them for a while. That was really nice. Beautiful family. Very, very nice from the adults to the kids. Everybody very nice, respectful. Very much enjoyed talking to all of them. So that was a really fun evening. And afterwards, we went to sat around the fire pit until they shut them down. It was funny because the security guy came to close the one by the pool where we're at first, and then we went to another one closer to the hotel. Then he came. We were like he was following us along. But anyway, eventually we gave up, and he turned off all the fire pits. So that was fun. So again, highly recommend Hotel Maya. I just want to wrap up with that. Highly recommend it. It was very, very nice. So yeah, April's saying the boat didn't feel crowded. I agree. The only time, again, it felt crowded was when they had a few events. And again, I'll talk about that in the atrium area. No, I was just booked for January 13. Oh, bummer, Anisha. Not too late to change. It's only a week apart. Comalone says, thank you for all your videos, tips. We took our first cruise November 28th. We loved it. Looking forward for more, Bianca and Frank. Well, thank you, Bianca and Frank. I guess I say every time, I really enjoy doing this. It's fun. I love meeting everybody, either virtually or on the ship. This last time around, it was just amazing. And not saying this in a braggadocious way. It was amazing how many people, every time I would turn around, people coming up and thanking me for the videos. Like I was saying earlier, saying, hey, I'm a beach bum. I love you. I'm following your videos, all that stuff. So from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate it. Hey, Mom, glad you made it in. Appreciate it. That's my mom there and there. Highly recommend first-time cruisers to print out Honey Cruise tips from the Facebook group. Well, thank you, April. So I kind of mentioned this before, but there might be some newer people in here. So I do have a list of documents that I've made in the Facebook group that she's referring to is the Carnival Long Beach Cruisers Facebook group. So if you're not in it, let me know. We'll drop a link for you if you want. But it's just a great group for all of us to share information, but also in there, I have a bunch of documents that I created. And it was mainly because a lot of people are just not, I shouldn't say a lot. There are some people that don't like watching videos or like to have them, like April did, as a point of reference. So what I try to do is just kind of, and people were telling me, well, I made notes of everything you said in there. I thought, it'd be nice to kind of give them the notes to have. So that was the purpose of those documents, is to kind of marry up my videos with these documents to allow people to have them. So yes, they are available, and I update them constantly and then re-upload them in the Facebook group. So thank you. We were on the 11-7 Radiance cruise, and it didn't feel crowded. Yeah, it wasn't bad, like I said, and I'll talk about here. I'm not sure if I told you, we were told that, it was like 3,360 passengers. Hey, Patricia, I'm glad you made it in. I'll see you on January 6th. Absolutely. Look forward to it. Hey, honey, can we buy beach light stuff, and how? So yeah, this was asked of me before. I have my merchandise in a Zazzle store. If people want to buy stuff, I'll share the link. I'm just not a big fan of like pushing merch. I'm not trying to make any money off of it. Actually, I don't make any money off of it. Everything I have in there, I pass on at cost. And I buy a yearly subscription, so that way people don't have to pay shipping. So what I ask people to do is just send me a message through Facebook or Instagram, whatever social media platform you're on. Send me a message, and then I'll get you connected, and then you can order that way. So yes, I do have merch available. I even I'll custom make the shirts to make sure some people want their name on it. I can put their name on it and stuff. So hopefully that answers your question. Felt there were so many places to hang out. There are. So anyway, in wrapping up, so now we'll move on to embarkation day. the embarkation itself, and I kind of want to get through because I know people are still asking questions, but I just want to make sure I give enough time for Q&A as well. And I want to talk about the holiday stuff, and that's what I'm getting into here shortly. All right, so the embarkation day, we had 10 a.m. to 10:30 check-in. They actually started the check-in. This was the first time I was there early. Normally I'm there like 10-ish. But this is the first time that I was there early enough to where I noticed that at 9:30 they started allowing us in. What was interesting, and I'm going to be putting out an embarkation day video maybe tomorrow. Or maybe the next day. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, so they let us start. First, they told me as I was walking up, and my friends were behind me. They said, "Oh, only priority boarding people. So it would be diamond, platinum, suites, wedding guests, that kind of thing." So I said, "Okay." I told my friends, "Hey, I'll meet you inside." Next thing I know, I turned around and they were following behind there shortly, and they said, "Oh, somebody else just let us in." I said, "Okay, that's fine." So 9:30-ish, you may or may not be able to get in, but they at least started the priority boarding there. I see a question. I'll get to it here in just a second. Trod 286, I see you there. So one other thing before I get to that question real quick. And if you saw my last embarkation day video, and then if you watch this new one, or if you don't, I want to mention it here. So in my last embarkation day video, I told you that there was just a sign that said suites, but it didn't make any mention of platinum, diamond, etc. or faster the fun. Well, faster fun just started, but anyway. So now they actually have a priority boarding sign with faster the fun included. So everybody within that priority boarding group, again, diamond, platinum, suites, wedding guests, and faster the fun can go in the middle line. The far right line is the on-time appointments. The far left line is if you are early or late to your appointment. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that again. I have it in my video as well, but I want to mention it here if you don't want to watch the video. Okay, let me get to the question here. So try to answer the question. First time cruiser here. Well, welcome to your new addiction. What are the casino table minimums on the Radiance booked for July? Thank you for your information and thoughts. So I don't play the tables much, to be honest with you. I've seen $5 and $10. If there's my friend Kathy's in here, she can tell you for sure. Hopefully, Kathy, if you could answer. But I know I've seen $5 minimum, $10 minimum, I believe. But I don't typically play the tables. I play the slots, and mainly because I'm just trying to get the casino deals, and usually slot play gets you those casino deals a little bit easier, faster, whatever the case may be. So, but I've noticed that in just walking around, sometimes I'll go up and say hello to a friend or something, and I believe they're 5 or 10. But hopefully, Kathy will answer that question here if that's gone up or changed recently. Evan just dropped the link to the Facebook group with the files. So thank you, Evan. If you are able to click on that, you can. That's the link for the tips and documents. Any Adventure says we got in through security and drink in hand in 30 minutes with a 12 o'clock check-in. Yeah, it was really easy. It was really, the debarkation was easy. The embarkation has been easy, but it was very nice. I'll tell you, I truly enjoy. I feel like a bit spoiled going out of Long Beach. I did go out of Miami in September. It wasn't terrible, but I think we really have a nice terminal, and we do have a really good, efficient process. What time is late checkout? There is no late checkout. You need to be out of your room by 8:30 a.m. Yeah, not like a hotel where you can ask for later checkout. So your debarkation day, you got to be out of that room by 8:30, and then they'll start the debark. If you're not in a hurry, just hang out until they basically say, hey, you ain't got to go home, but got to get out of here, kind of thing. But usually we have a long drive ahead of us, so we're out of that room by 8:30, and then you start the debarkation process from there. So so the latest you could be out of your room is 8:30 a.m. I highly suggest checking in your luggage. Just tip your porter, but do bring a carry-on with important stuff like meds and extra change. Yeah, so it's funny because April was considering bringing on the luggage, the family, and of course, like many people, concerned about what if they lose the luggage, that kind of thing. But I'll tell you, I'm not saying you never say never, but it's very rare that type of thing happens. But just the process of lugging the luggage around with you until you can go to your room at 1:30. Now, if you have the benefit of being a priority boarding guest, and have early access to your room, then maybe it's a toss up, right? So now, like, I started bringing stuff with me because I know I can go drop them off in my room. But she's right. If you choose to check in your luggage, make sure to bring your important information or important stuff with you, meds, documents, etc., in your carry-on. Okay. I shrunk my shirt. Oh, I can't wear it next week, but I'll be sure to wear it in March. Oh no! Sorry to hear that. did it? Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll talk to you. I'll find if it was like something issue. One good thing about it is the reason I'm asking, their customer service is really great. So if it's something with the shirt or whatever, but if it was on you, then yeah, they might not honor that. Hey, Eric B, what's going on? Daniel plays the tables and I guess some deals, but nothing like slots. Yeah, for sure. Stephen Evans says, do you know when you're going to start ship tour? So Stephen, I don't know if it was you that asked me this before, but I know somebody asked me this before. I started doing the ship tour and kind of piecemealing it. I'm just not happy with the footage because you either have to get up really early to capture those that know me, I'm not an early riser. So you have to get up really early, or you have to just record during the day, but then there's a lot of background noise, and I don't like to do voiceovers. Just me personally. I'm not for any creators that watch this or in the room. I'm not a voiceover guy. I don't like it. It's just not my thing. To me, it's all about the personal connection, and I don't feel personally connected when I watch any video that has voiceovers. That's just me again. So I just don't like to do them. So with that, yeah, I don't know. And there's some really good ship tours out there. I'll be honest with you, there's others that are already out there. So it's like, and ship tours do really well. So like if I was really doing this for the money and the views and the whatever subscribers, I would do a ship tour. I'd get up early and just, it's not a big deal to me. I know a lot of people like my content, like the way I'm doing it. I may do it one of these days. It's just not high on the priority list. So sorry, but there's some good ones out there. I have seen 5 and 10 and 25 on the Radiance recently. Okay, for minimum bets. Gotcha. There's Kathy. Blackjack is $10 minimum and Hold'em is $5 on each spot, and roulette are $2 chips. Thank you, Kathy. I knew you would have that answer. Last month, Blackjack was $6 minimum and craps was $5. All right, thank you, ma'am. Got it. There's Andrew. What's going on, man? What's up, honey? I made it. Glad you made it, bud. I appreciate it. I know it's it's an evening time. People like to chill, have some dinner, and watch some TV and stuff. So I appreciate you being here. There's a pretty big crowd in here, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You can use your boarding pass to get your drinks while waiting for your room to be available at 1:30. You sure can, absolutely. Or you can just give them your cabin number. We carried on and off on the last Radiance, but is it worth it? Oh, I do. I don't carry on, but I carry off. Only because it's just one more step, right? You have to go and find your bag in the zones and et cetera, et cetera. And I'll tell you, it's not so much that. Like we're kind of in a hurry to get going, get on the road. I'll tell you why I don't do it. And I'm going to just share this because we have a lot of first timers in here and all that. Here's why I don't leave my luggage out. It takes a lot of planning and coordination. You got to make sure that you leave, especially when we were traveling as a family. So, there's 5 of us, got to make sure everybody has clothes, right, for the next day. And then what do you do with your dirty clothes from that following morning? Like everybody, whatever the PJs you slept in. And then you got to make sure you have your toiletries that you need for the morning time, you brush your teeth, deodorant, etc. So logistically, once you put your bag out, then you have to think, okay, well, you might have to have at least one other bag that has your clean clothes, or you can leave your clean clothes out or whatever, but to throw your toiletries or any last minute things. So if you choose to leave your bags out, that's okay, but it just involves a little bit of planning. And when we were newer cruisers, we just didn't know these things. So I'm sharing this with you just to prepare. If you want to leave your bags out, don't forget to to leave clothes out. Lee Mason told a funny story one time on the Panorama where the husband was packing while the wife was was taking a shower, and he packed her clothes for the next day. And anyway, it was a funny story. So just prepare that, hey, there's tomorrow morning, I still got to, put on clothes and I need my toiletries and stuff. So just keep that in mind. Same with the noon check-in, doing it next week on the Miracle. Hey, Frank, what's going on, bud? Appreciate you being in here. Say hello to the wifey if she's next to you. Super thankful I took y'all advice and checked in our luggage. My mom-in-law had to wind her luggage and made it through. Yeah, it happens. It happens sometimes. Somebody was showing me that they got some soda through on their in their bags as well. We love the cabin tours. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I like doing them. Actually, I have one coming out. That was the next bullet point here, was talking about the cabin tour that I got to do. And I'll talk about that in just a second. Cruising Couple says, how cold was it? We were leaving on the Miracle December 15th. I feel like in November, the November cruise we were on was a little bit colder. So on the first, on the actual ship, like out on the deck and stuff, Evan and I were just chatting about that. It's funny. The first day, embarkation day, was cold enough to where I had to put on, my jogger pants and you'll see that in the video, and a hoodie. But on the ship, outside, there was times where it was cold or chilly. Like on the last evening, my friends Evan and Sean were in the hot tub, and I was outside talking to them, and I was freezing. I had to go grab Sean's robe and just kind of like cover myself in it. So yeah, I mean, I would just bring layers for sure. I get everybody. The weather stuff and all that stuff. It's hard to say because you just never know. You're from Southern California, it's just you never know with the weather, and everybody's tolerance to cold is a little different. So, because I know like Evan's like a snowman, and he was super cold when we were out on the Lido deck in November. So yeah, that's all relative, I guess. It was my own fault. Okay, no worries. Okay, hey Cruising Club, I'll be on that cruise. I'm on the Radiance on December 9th. 22, fun on the NCL. Gotcha. Okay, so, all right. Question: will you do more videos on how to explore like a local, like where to eat, locals eat? Yeah. You know what? I was just talking to somebody on Facebook. They went to this place on the boardwalk, and it's definitely a place. I tried to, like, I was walking by Senor Poblano's the other day, and for those of you again that have been following me for a while. They are asking me, hey, when are you going to come back? We miss you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the business that we got from the video. We'd love to see you again. I told them, I said, no, it's not because I don't care. As I said, I'm always trying to show something new or different. The hard part is I'm also always traveling with different people. This last time for Ensenada, I have no video this week. I'll be honest with you. I for this last cruise, because we went to La Guadalajara, which I already have a video of for launch. We did massages, which I've already have massage videos for the place. But I do for future cruises. This next one, my 14-year-old daughter is coming with me, so we'll see what we get into. But yes, absolutely, those are my favorite. My favorite are doing the things in Ensenada, because you can only do so many videos on the ship, right? So yeah. The answer to your question is yes, April, for sure. Have you ever thought of doing San Francisco to Mexico cruise? True Funk Soldier? No. I'll be honest with you. It's just so convenient for me to drive to Long Beach. So for me to fly, I know some people even fly from Arizona to California. I even avoid that. I try to avoid flying just because it's just very inconvenient. I got to get to the airport somehow, and then I got to take the flight there. I got to get from the airport to the place. Logistically, even though there's sometimes the cost is better, right? I don't have to pay for parking, etc. But to add the airplane logistics, and sometimes the cost is just not. It's just prohibitive. So yeah, I'm sorry. But I do want to get on the Miracle. If it's a matter of Miracle, I do want to get on Miracle, and there's a Thursday to Sunday one that I've been looking at that I'm hopefully will do in 2023. Just don't know when yet. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Sharkbait Lucky. Yes, please, if you could. YouTube likes it when it sees those thumbs up, and it means that you guys are enjoying the content. All right, Panorama ships out from the same terminal as the Radiance, right? Yes, it does. The Panorama goes out of Long Beach Cruise Terminal. Any adventures that we had one couple in our group traveling with us on the Panorama, then we had to wait for the check bags before we could leave. Added like 90 minutes to getting off the boat and back on the road. Yeah, and I haven't done it in a long time. And again, it was mainly because of the evening logistics that I didn't want to have to deal with. Frank says, hey, I saw the tequila at Victor's place. Looks nice. When's the next cruise? Yeah, they did a really good job. I think I had that in the previous video. They did a really good job with it. We were going to do tequila tasting there this last trip. It just didn't work out. So maybe in the future, I'll try to get there, and maybe with a group of people. I would do it January 6th, but I have my daughter with me. Maybe the group that I'm with might go do it, and maybe I'll ask one of them to film or something, but we'll see. And the next cruise for me is January 6th, and then after that, February 24th, Frank. Jeff says we did December last year, Panorama, and it was warm first few days, and it's 60s with lots of wind. Yep. It was chilly, and when we sailed off, throws up the hang loose. Love it. True functions as the port is a mess. Makes you appreciate Long Beach. I live in Oakland. 10 minutes from SVO and prefer to travel to Long Beach. We did Alaska on Miracle, and it was crazy. All right. Good to know, Esperanza. Thank you. Joey, question. Do you know when is a good time to check for cabin upgrades? Got an interior room, but would love a balcony. I don't know who you book with, Joey. If you go through a travel agent or through a Carnival personal vacation planner or do it yourself directly, you could check with your travel. If you're doing a travel agent or PVP, you can ask them to check for you constantly. I mean, they can become available anytime. Sometimes I would also check in your cruise planner, right, online. I'll always see them, when they do come in, any upgrades will come in your cruise manager, online. So that's where you could check if you booked it yourself, or you can have your travel agent or PVP do some work. So did you meet February? Because I'm on that cruise. Hi, honey, looking good. Thanks for all your helpful tips and info for cruising. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate that. My son and I are doing the Miracle in April for the first time ever. I really want to get on. I don't get me wrong. I love the Radiance. I'm not bored of it by any means, but I think it'd be good for me to try the Miracle at least once, just to say I did, so I can at least speak somewhat intelligently about it, right? So Miracle 1223 to 1229, first time at Long Beach. So excited. Very awesome, Rhonda. Looking forward to that for you. Hello from Tucson. Hi, Sonia. Welcome in. DJ J Tech. I was on the Miracle December 2016. February 2023 will be my second time on the Miracle. Very cool. Let's see here. Question from April. Is there a beach that is walking distance from Puerto Vallarta and Cabo San Lucas? In Puerto Vallarta, it's a pretty long walk. If I remember correctly, we took a cab. I think you watched that video recently. You were telling me, April. We took a cab to that spot. Beautiful area. In Cabo, there was one, and I don't know if it's still accessible. So anybody that's been to Cabo recently, please feel free to correct me or jump in. But where they drop you off, where the tenders boats drop you off, and you walk out, and you can make a right to go start walking around the boardwalk there. If you make a left, like going towards that little indoor flea market, but if you keep walking left, over back behind it, I think there was like radio towers or something up in the background there. But anyway, there was like a little kind of secluded beach area that you could access. Again, I don't know. This was like way many years ago. I don't know if that's still there or accessible. I haven't been to it recently. So if anybody that's been there recently knows what I'm talking about, let me know. You're welcome, Joey. Count me in on the Miracle. Okay, cool, Evan. That would be awesome. Miracle is the only ship we've done 2 times. Steakhouse and funnel is really nice. That would be really cool. Yeah, I think somebody had mentioned that, or may have seen in a video, that the steakhouse is in the funnel. I'll tell you one of the things. I wish. Thanks. Okay, we're on the Miracle in March. It's old school Vegas glam. Very cool. Let me go back to this real quick. So the steakhouse. I love the steakhouse. I've been doing it every cruise since April on embarkation day, and I enjoy it. But I really enjoyed the steakhouse on the horizon when I was on there in September. It was just dimly lit, quiet, piano music in the background. Just the overall vibe felt really nice. Food was good, all that. But I feel like this steakhouse, because it's so small, it gets really loud. I wish they would at least dim the lights. I don't know if it's just not an option, because I think it's connected to the Sunrise dining room, which is right next door. So maybe that's why they can't dim the lights. That's my guess. But it would be nice, yeah, if they would at least dim the lights, if they could. But I'm guessing they can't. But yeah, and then because it's such a small area, it's just kind of loud and stuff. So anyway, just wanted to point that out since it was brought up. In Cabo, please research. Most beaches are not swimmable. Lots of riptides. You can take a water taxi to Playa Amor or Medano Beach. Just please be careful. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good advice. I know a lot of people will go out to like Lovers Beach and that kind of thing. But yeah, definitely be careful where you go and do some research. Very good advice, Esperanza. Max Adam. Hi, Shane Adam. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Max Adam Closet. Got it. Okay. That's about the true function. Okay. All right. So I was talking about the cabin tour earlier. I just wanted to mention that the next cabin tour I have coming out here soon was a handicap accessible cabin. So that was one of the few. I had, a pretty good variety of different cabins. That was one. I did have one that was somewhat accessible, but if you notice, if you watch that video, like there was like a little lip going up into the bathroom, and of course going out to the balcony. It wasn't like truly wheelchair friendly or anything like that. So this one is definitely wheelchair accessible and very large, very nice. So my friend Julie Burnett, who I met through the cruising community, thank you, Julie, if you watch this or are here, thank you. It was her dad's room, and she allowed me access to film it for my channel. So thank you again. So that will be coming out for anybody that needs a wheelchair accessible room. It was very, very large. Jim says, hello, Jim. Welcome in. I've been on the Radiance once and Miracle 3 times in the past year. I really enjoyed the Miracle. There are some additional features on the Radiance, but the Miracle is a great ship. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I definitely, it's, again, not for nothing else. It's just that the schedule for the Radiance, the Friday and Monday, works great for my work because I have the Fridays off, or every other Friday off. But that Thursday to Sunday I can make work, because just kind of like how I take a Monday off for the Friday and Monday, I would just take the Thursday off where I would have a Friday off and do it. So once I found out they had that schedule available, I was like, oh, okay, I could put this on my radar. Michelle Mish says, is there an inexpensive shuttle in Ensenada that does round trip? Yeah, the ones right there at the port are $4. $4 round trip. That's pretty inexpensive. So here's what I found out, and I just want to update you. I'm glad you brought this up. I did have this on my list for below, but I'll get to it now since you brought this up. So those shuttles will take you to 2 drop-off spots. And it's really important. The reason I want to bring this up, it's very important to know they drop off in 2 different locations. One is over by the McDonald's and Starbucks. It's actually going to be closer to the Starbucks, and then you walk up to the McDonald's. So that's one drop-off area, which is on one side of the tourist downtown area, if you will. So that's one drop-off. And then they have another drop-off over by Papa's and Beer, about a block and a half away from Papa's and Beer. So if you're trying to get us to a certain location, let's just say you're trying to go to the massage place that I recommend. If you're trying to go to the liquor store, I recommend. If I go to La Guadalajara, all of those are on the McDonald's side. And you'll hear me talk about it in the videos. McDonald's is a point of reference. So if you know you're going to one of those places, make sure when you get on a shuttle, you tell them, this is where I want to go. I want to be dropped off by the McDonald's, so you get put on the proper shuttle. So just keep that in mind. There's 2 different drop-off locations, but again, $4 round trip. Very, very important to remember that. Because if not, you'll end up way on the other side over by Papa's and Beer and have to work your way back. How easy is it to get in touch with your room stewardess? Is there a phone number, or do you find to get? Yeah, they give you a card with their number. It's like a 5-digit number you punch into your phone there in the cabin, and it's pretty easy. They'll answer. They have their little phones. So you'll either go directly to them. If they're on a break or off for the evening, it goes to a general number for a housekeeping manager or whoever, and they'll take care of you. So, but you'll get a card with a 5-digit number. Kristen, welcome in. Kristen, you can contact her. Yep, there you go. She got it. Esperanza, you can come introduce and leave a card. Got it. Wendy says, hello, welcome in. Wendy, do you recommend the margarita and Mexican excursion, or should we DIY it? Honestly, I've done 0 excursions through Carnival. And I'm not discouraging anybody, because if you're going to do excursion, the only way you're going to guarantee yourself back on the ship if anything goes wrong is to do a Carnival excursion. So if you are worried about it, if it's one that may run late, that kind of thing. So again, this is one of those things where you might want to do your research. The back to ship time is 4:30. So if you want to guarantee yourself back on the ship, definitely use a Carnival excursion. With that said, I've only done one excursion in Ensenada. I always DIY it, as you'd like to say there. I always DIY it. I did one through Las Dunas Tours to La Bufadora, and luckily, everything went well. There was no issue there. I've not done the margarita Mexican excursion. I don't know much about it. I would just say you can easily DIY it. It's very easy to get around there. There's a great community of people that can help answer your questions, that kind of thing. So I don't know, again, what it entails, but I would say DIY it, to be honest. Thank you. You're welcome. They left the business card with their number. Yep. Gotcha. We love the Miracle 2 and Beyond Journeys Cruise 14 nights to Alaska in September. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, don't take the topless bus because it's a waste of $20. So yeah, Frank, I mentioned that in my document about the topless bus tour, but I know we spoke about it. I asked you guys about it after you came back because I was curious because people ask me all the time, is it worth it? Um, and based off of what you told me, I don't think it's worth it. So, and that's what when people ask me, I'll tell them, hey, I haven't been on it, but somebody that's been on it, kind of told me it really wasn't worth the $20. It was basically an extension of the shuttle ride. They just kind of do kind of a longer loop and then bring you back to where the shuttles would normally drop you off. So, but yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Everyone's talking about the miracle, making me more excited for next week. Very cool. Hey, Anita, welcome in. Glad you're here. Yay, Tony with Las Dunas is the best. Yeah, Tony's a great guy. That's Big Tony tour guide. So yeah, that's who I went through for my La Bufadora tour. Not to mention the Tapas bus only gives you 2 hours, 1 hour on the bus and 1 hour in town. Gotcha. You're very welcome, Wendy. What's going on, Ronnie? Woo! Josh, welcome in. Transitioning from Ronnie's woo to Josh woo. What's going on, bud? Welcome in. What were your thoughts on the festivities last week? Okay, yeah, Kitty Cat. Yeah, we're already more than half an hour in. Let me talk about the holiday stuff, and I can go back and talk about the other stuff, and I'll get to questions. So let me. I'm looking at. So okay, so if you guys could just hold off on questions, just so I can get through the holiday stuff, because I'm sure a lot of people were here like, hey, I'm on the December cruises. What? Okay, so here's the deal. All right, guys, I see questions coming in. Just be patient. I'll get to them. All right. So on embarkation day, they had the tree lighting ceremony at 6 p.m. at the Atrium Bar, Radiance Lobby, whatever you want to refer to it. The tree was already there and lit when we got there. So I wasn't really sure like what to expect. I don't know what I was kind of like expecting somewhere where a tree was turned off and they would light it and it would be, even, there's not many places on the ship to have something big or grand. So it was just, I have some pictures of it. I'll have to post it on my Facebook page or Facebook group. But, it was a nice tree, but nothing huge or grand or whatever, but it was already lit. So the tree lighting, and, sorry, spoiler alert, if you don't want to listen, maybe mute me out for a second or whatever, but they literally just unplugged the tree and plugged it back in. And the only reason why I'm telling you again, I don't want to spoil these events, but I think a lot of people were just like us. We're planning around these events, right? So we planned and made sure that we were there at 6 o'clock to see this tree lighting. And I'll be honest with you, I love Carnival. But I also try to keep it honest and real. It was very underwhelming. I just, if nothing else, they should have just left it unplugged. So then it's like, hey, all right, it's official. This cruise has started and we're lighting the tree. The fact that it was tree, they unplugged it. And I don't know. To me, it was a little underwhelming. So, and then they played Christmas music, and the music was syncing up with the tree lights, and that was kind of cool. Again, don't plan your whole day around that. I mean, if you can attend it, great. But that's all there was to it, really. The following day, on the sea day, they had the holiday show at 1 p.m. And I was able to attend that. It was really nice, really, really well done. I don't, see, I'm just trying to. The other one I wanted to share with you because again, I don't want to spoil anything. So it was I'll just say it was well done and worth attending. How's that? I just don't want to ruin it because there's some pretty cool things they did in there that I don't want to take away the element of the surprise, or not so much surprise, but just I want you to go and enjoy it without saying, oh, I already know this is happening. So they did a few things in it that were really cool. So for Hani's recommendation is yes, that is definitely something I would take the time to go watch. The holiday show was definitely worth it. All right. And then lastly, on Sunday, so this is one thing, again, I just want to tell you, people were asking about the ugly sweater contest. Well, there wasn't anything on the schedules that said ugly sweater contest. Everybody was looking for it. Megan, I don't know if she's in here. She was like asking me, she saw me like, do you know what it is? I'm like, I have no idea. I didn't see it on the schedule. They called it Tis the Season. It's on Sunday at 6 o'clock. So when you get on the ship, when you're looking at your daily activity sheets or on your phone, it's called Tis the Season. That's the ugly sweater contest. So if you're planning for that, that's what to look for. 6 p.m. Sunday. Well, that's on the 3-day. But on the 4-day, look and see what the Tis the Season is on yours. They did the sweater contest first. And then I'm not going to say what else they did again, just to kind of not remove, to take away from the enjoyment of it. But I would tell you the only thing I would add to that, I didn't attend it because, again, I didn't know that was ugly sweater, and we had dinner planned, and this is the tough part. So the nice thing is you guys have the benefit, those of you that follow me, that I'm giving you these daily activity sheets to plan. I didn't have that, so we didn't know when this was going to be, and we had dinner plans at the same time, so we missed it. But so just so you know, if you're trying to make dinner plans, this and that, and you want to attend that, that's why I'm giving you times. So it was 6 o'clock on the schedule. I do have both. I'll take this opportunity to tell you, I have the 3-day activity sheets and the 4-day activity sheets in that Facebook group. I announced it in some of the roll call groups, so just make sure to go check them out if you're trying to plan your dinners and that kind of thing. So I'll leave it at that. Let me go to the there's Megan, I see her. So let me go to the to comments. So Kitty Cat, there you go. That was my thoughts on the festivities. Megan, let me know what you think. Was it worth attending? I didn't attend it, so I don't know. But let me know if you thought it was worth attending. I see you in there in the chat. The 'Tis the Season. While I'm going through these, let everybody know what you thought. Again, I know you told me what they did there. I just didn't want to share that with everybody, just to let it be a surprise. I'm looking at Sailing the Miracle, November 16th, 2023. First-time cruiser. Hey, Sal, welcome in. First-time cruiser leaving Friday the 9th. What's the 5 must things to bring for your trip? Well, that's a good question. Must brings, if you have a lot of electronics, definitely a non-surge protector power strip would definitely be something you want to bring. If you plan on going in the hot tubs or the pool, if you don't mind cold water, definitely bring a bathing suit for the hot tubs. Here's some suggestions being made in here, so I'm just going to kind of read through. Bring hand soap with a pump. That's a good one. Yeah, if they just have a bar soap. So if you want to, hey, Shelby, welcome in. It's up to you, girl. I never go without a white noise maker. Okay, that's some good suggestions. Megan, they're laughing. Yeah, I know, right, Megan? That was really smart. So Megan, what she did, she went to guest services and said, hey, where the heck is the ugly sweater contest going to be? And then they told her. So then later on, I asked her about it. I was like, hey, what did it end to be? Is it the 'Tis the Season? And she said yes. So that's how I was able to put 2 and 2 together. Sal, bring motion sickness just in case. A warm throw to sit and watch a movie on Lido. Oh, very good one. Your Yeti coffee cup for drinks, coffee and ice cream. Very good. Tip, bring liquid IV if you're planning to drink. It'll help keep you hydrated. Very good. Yep, there you are. I see you. I didn't see the white party event. You know what? They didn't. I don't think they had it. I didn't see it either. I don't think they had it. I think they had way too much to squeeze in with all these holiday things. I don't know. Now see all the cruises are starting to bunch together. Usually what they've done when they have a bunch of stuff going on is they'll do like a white party at the club. So they'll just tell people to wear white. And they may have done that. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the schedule. Bring the kids to that one for sure. Okay, good, Megan. Thank you. I appreciate that. So Megan is saying definitely bring the kids to the 'Tis the Season event. That includes the ugly sweater contest. They do some other things. Again, I want it to be fun and a surprise for you. So Megan is definitely saying go and definitely bring the kids to that one. So thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. Thanks, everyone. Awesome. Everybody rocks. I know. Yes, I love ugly sweaters. Yes, definitely bring the kids for the surprise. Okay, yeah. I know. I wanted to say it, but I was like, no. I want everybody to be surprised. So I'm glad that you did surprise as well. Cool. We enjoyed everything on the Radiance. Awesome. I've heard some people not being very happy with it. That's okay. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. I love the Miracle. Oh, okay, now I got to try it. One, bring a positive. Joey says, bring a positive attitude. You know what? I don't know if he's saying this in fun or whatever, but it's true. It really. I just want to take. If you guys could just like give me the 30 seconds or whatever to just say this. I really think just anything you do, it's not just a cruise, whether it's a land-based vacation or going to, it's really the attitude you bring into it. If you come into it with a negative attitude, that's what you're going to get out of it, because you've kind of gone into it, kind of wanting it to be terrible. Oh, I read, I read people said the food's horrible. I read this, and so you kind of already started putting all this in your brain. So I always try to tell people, go in with expectations low, positive attitude high, right? And then you'll enjoy it that much more. So Joey, actually, that's a very good point. Bring less than you think. Yeah, that's true. Even though I still overpack. Air freshener for the room. Yeah, or poopery spray for sure. Is the massage spot Ensenada worthwhile? I think so, and I'm glad you brought that up. It was on my list to go back to here when I talk about Ensenada. But since you bring that up, I just went to it again this weekend. I took my first timer friend Roxy and my friend's wife Sean with me there, and we all loved it. I purposely told the owner, give them your top two massage, and I want your newest massage person. I want to be able to compare, right? I had his top, like, most senior massage person last time, so I wanted his most junior massage person. And I'm telling you, she knocked out the park. She was awesome. You would never know that she'd only been doing it for 1 year. Really, really good, very attentive. Roxy said she's had tons and tons of massages, and that was the best she's ever had. She actually had he has two that are like his most senior people. So she had one of them, and then my friend Sean, she had his most senior one that I had last time, and we all just went away just as we're going back to the ship, just talking about how amazing the massage was. So Josh, absolutely, I definitely highly recommend massage and facial care for sure. All right. April says non-surge protector, hand soap with pump, liquid IV, non-drowsy motion sickness meds, Tums, Advil, Tylenol, Mucinex just in case you get sick. Sorry. Absolutely with a positive attitude. Very, very important. It really is. A guy behind me at the PG Comedy Show made a comment about my children. He said out loud to his wife, girlfriend, that I didn't know this was a daycare. I thought that was very rude for someone to say out loud. At the PG Comedy Show? Yeah, that's kind of lame. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. You're going to run into people like that. And, sometimes it's hard to bite your tongue. But, the way I look at it is I'm sorry that people are that miserable in life, that's just how they feel. I understand that sometimes, and I have kids. I have 3 kids, and we've been cruising with them since they were young. And kids are going to be kids. It's really about how I just want to talk about this for a second, if I could. It's how things are done on the ship, and I know there's just as bad adults that the way that adults act sometimes on the ship. But I'll tell you this: last time, for the most part, I've seen kids just being kids, right? And I was on the last evening. We were sitting at the pizza place, just hanging out. That's kind of like our late night, just chill and people watch spot. And for whatever reason, that last night is always the night the teenage kids always go to the pizza place. I don't know if it's a tradition or whatever. I felt like that's what my girls used to do. Anyway, and they were just being teenagers, and I don't really have a problem with that. Roughhousing a little bit and just being teenagers. The one thing I didn't like, and I'm normally not one to like say anything or whatever, but the one kid took hand sanitizer and threw it at the other kid, and I'm like, oh, whatever, that's their problem, right? But the other kid took an ice cream and threw it at the other kid. It hits the wall and then just leaves a mess all over the ground, a slippery mess. And one of the staff members sees it, and so the staff member sees it and just was kind of like just watching and not really saying anything. And I know they have to really be careful because these are customers, right? So the staff members are really careful. So I said, hey, are you planning on cleaning that up? Again, I normally don't say anything. I'm usually a mild mannered guy, but it really bothered me that like somebody could slip and fall. This is their last day. Can you imagine having to go to the hospital there on the ship, or people are having to go back to work. So somebody's gonna slip and fall because this person thought it was funny and not go. So I said, hey, are you planning on cleaning that up? For this kid, I got to give him, he was respectful. And he said, yes. He didn't talk back. He didn't say, screw you, old man, whatever. He went and cleaned it up, or he attempted to clean it up. The staff member was telling him, no, don't do that. And I thought, well, that's let him clean it up. It's a good lesson for them. So then he went and sat back down, and it was still there. She just put a chair over it. And eventually, because the chair was blocking the walkway that everybody's coming from the comedy show, etc., to get pizza, it was blocking the walkway. So they pushed it over to the side, as you would expect people to do. So now this slippery area was exposed again. So I went and grabbed one of those little blue napkins, those you've been there before, and I grabbed it and I went and just started wiping it down. So she came over to me, it's like, no, sir, no. I said, no, I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. Somebody's gonna slip and fall, and I just don't want that to happen while I'm sitting here watching and seeing this. I'm not gonna let it happen. She's like, no, housekeeping's coming. I said, we've been waiting for quite some time. The chair's been moved. Somebody's gonna slip and fall. I'm cleaning. So I ended up cleaning it. Again, I'm always really nice to the staff. And this time I told her, sorry, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm cleaning up this mess. Anyway, sorry for the little rant, but that was one of the rare occasions where I've seen where it was, kind of unnecessary. Anyway, it is what it is. So, amen. Let's see here. Joshua, it's worth haunting. Recommend the spot. We did a couple's one for hubby's birthday. Yeah, very, very nice for sure. Sorry again, but I just wanted to explain to you guys what, those type of things happen. And I understand, nobody expects everybody to have their kids with them at their sides all the time. I understand kids are going to be kids, but there's a certain level where I don't want my vacation or somebody else's vacation ruined because of something like that, where somebody could have slipped and fell, and then So that was the only reason why I said anything. Megan says, "Oh, and we got the honey special at the tequila spot, that cream tequila stuff. Oh my God, delicious! We bought 4 bottles. Oh, it is good, right? Yeah. What is it? I have a bottle up there. Quita Peñas. You see it back there? Right up there. Yeah. Is that the one you got, Megan? Thanks, brother. You're welcome, Josh. Last here, April says, I try to ignore those rude people. It's hard, but it's on them if they let my kids ruin their vacation. Plus, they're not babysitting them. I agree. And like I said, my rant there was not so much about the kids, because again, I have young kids and this and that, everything else. But whether it's an adult or a kid, because that could have easily been adults being stupid, being drunk, or young adults or whatever, and doing the same thing. My little rant there was more so that we should all be kind of respectful of others. I think a lot of people sometimes, not a lot, some people go on these things as like, it's my vacation, blah, blah, blah. There was a little incident between my buddy and somebody around seating and stuff like that, where the guy's like, I paid a lot of money for my vacation. Well, guess what? We all paid a lot of money for this vacation, and you can't hold seats and reserve seats in an area. Anyway, it's a long story. I'm not going to go into another rant. So just know that everybody's there to have a good time and be on vacation. You're not the only one. So ignores Petrina room. Mexico was playing the day we were on the cruise. We had our shirts on. We got Mexicans here. That was racist. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. That's just the way it goes. So yes, you got that. Oh, you got that bottle. Awesome. It's unfortunate that some adults were rude. Yeah, I agree that there's no room for it, for sure. Do you know if there's a difference between the comedy shows and the comedy showcase at 11 p.m.? I'll be on the Radiance. Yeah, so they have the one, as April mentioned, they have the PG one that is family friendly. So definitely, that's what bugs me about this person's comment, is that it's a family friendly show, so kids are allowed. So the babysitting comment makes no sense. But yeah, so there's usually a PG family friendly one, and then a R, and it'll say it on the schedules. It'll let you know if it's a PG or R rated. Maybe they're trying to be funny and playing off Doug's comedy skit about bringing Mexicans back. Yeah, Doug says a lot of things that like the Section 8 cruise thing and stuff, and a lot of people still not funny though. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll be honest with you, Doug was hilarious. Yeah, Doug. I've seen Doug's routine and stuff. Some of that stuff is fun in the comedy show. When you start carrying those things out, that may be a problem, because I'll tell you here, and I'm just going to say this, gosh, this is a rat night or what? Like with the Section 8 cruise thing, like if you were to say that somebody wasn't at his comedy show and didn't know the reference, can you imagine, like, if you said that around, somebody that may have taken that personally, like, oh, is it a Section 8 cruise because of whatever, right? So sometimes you kind of have to be careful with carrying those jokes outside of the comedy show. And who was that? They were saying that, maybe Megan, that maybe that's what the carryover, but yeah, they went. Yes, they went to Mexico. Yeah, they went to Mexico, right? Yeah, exactly. Some people don't want to be around children. They should go on Virgin cruises. Yeah, right. Exactly. All the time. So, all right. So I'm caught up on the chat area. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything as we're kind of rounding up to 9 my time, 8 Pacific. So on the C day, we went to C day brunch. Okay, I'll come back to the comment there. We went to C day brunch. Those of you that have been before know that they've trim down the menu a little bit, but still, I was still able to get my steak and eggs. Um, and I didn't see anybody in our group or anything like that complaining about the meal or anything like that. So it was a good deal. I did the Group for St. Jude event on that C day at noon. So what I wanted to do for that event, for those that again have been following along, I wanted to buy a bunch of bears. I had said at the beginning of this year, that I would use the money that I made from YouTube to donate to St. Jude. So what I wanted to do, like I'd done last year, was buy some bears, St. Jude bears, and hand them out. They didn't have the bears. They didn't have them on the cruise. I've since talked to the new entertainment coordinator, et cetera. So we're planning on hopefully January 6th that they would have those bears, that I could still do that. So what I did was I took half of the money that I was going to donate and bought a bunch of T-shirts and bags to hand out. And so I'll have some of those with me to hand out along with the bears on the January 6th cruise. So that was fun. The holiday show, I talked about that. We did a bar crawl at 2 p.m. The bar crawl was really fun. Let me tell anybody in here that may want to plan a future bar crawl. Again, things are always changing, and this is the tough part about not having daily activities in advance. When I did my bar crawl back in October, whatever, yeah, October, yeah. In October, there was no event in the Red Frog Pub. So we started there at 2 p.m. This time around, there was actually a trivia event in there, which led to a lot of confusion. And so in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the starting point at the Alchemy Bar, because I know it's closed. There's no event going on there. So we'll meet there and then go to the Red Frog Pub, because a lot of us, it just got really disjointed. So I'm just letting anybody know for future bar crawls, try to find a place where as your meeting spot, a place where that there's a good chance there won't be some kind of event. Meet there, and then like as a staging area, and then do your bar crawl. So just want to bring up that. And then that evening was formal night. We attended formal night and had the dinner. It was really nice. And then they had Motown music trivia in the atrium at 8:30 in the evening. So this is the part where I want to talk about. So the Motown music trivia night, and then the following night was the 80s night. They're doing that in the atrium. For those of you that have been on other ships, they've done that stuff in those atriums, whether it's like I was on the Vista, in the Panorama. They're large spaces. The Radiance lobby is not a large space, and this would be my only negative feedback, is that I wish they would have kept it outside. I know it's cold, but hey, it didn't stop people from still attending in the past during COVID times. I just wish they would have kept that outside, because even outside it was really crowded. So now you got to come even super earlier if you want a really good spot, in that main atrium bar area. Of course, they have people on level 4, level 5 looking down. That's not how I want to watch a show. I want to be right in the mix, which means I have to get there super early to make sure I have a good spot at the atrium bar. So now I know, and I got to plan accordingly. If I want to attend these events, I'm sharing that with you so you can plan accordingly. If you want to attend and you see that it says Radiance Lobby, plan on coming early. That includes these holiday events. Plan on coming early if you want a good spot around the atrium bar. So that's my pro tip for you. Let me go back here and just see before I go into the last night. What is Group for St. Jude is just donating money or their activities. So they sell the Group for St. Jude T-shirts. They'll usually have teddy bears. They didn't on this last one to sell. They had the little backpacks that the teddy bears go in. They were selling those for $6, I think it was, and the T-shirts are $12. And then they do some music and dancing, like a deck party style. Will they do the Cupid Shuffle, Wobble, etc. So they'll do some music and dancing as well. Megan says, I was bummed I missed the crawl. I was doing bingo, losing at bingo more specifically. No worries. It's okay. Like I said, it was a little chaotic at the beginning because of what I just mentioned, but it worked out. Luckily I was communicating with the people through Facebook, but not everybody gets the internet. So if they didn't have Facebook or weren't in the group or didn't have the internet, they didn't know, and that was kind of the bummer. So in the future, I'm just going to plan for. But it's still, we ended up with a large group, and it was such a fun time. So absolutely, we'll be on the Navigator January 6th. See you from Port and Ensenada. Okay, cool. I don't know. Yeah, the Navigator usually comes at the same time. So yeah, there's a good chance we might run into each other at the port. The Navigator wasn't there this last time, and I noticed that we parked The ship parked where the Navigator usually would park this last cruise. So I'll be on the Navigator in March. Same here. I'm so sad I missed the meet and greet bar crawl. I got lost. It's okay. Yeah, no, it's listen. There's so much going on. It's just one of those things that you have to try to pick and choose, right? You have to pick and choose. If anyone is in Ensenada, stop by at Tio Jello's Churros, best in Ensenada. Gotcha. That was a good one. What was it? Sorry, I'm behind now, so I'm not sure what the good one was for. Also at the Bufadora, Jalapeno is the best. Ask there for their souvenirs. Does the ship show the Monday and Thursday NFL games on the big screen out on the Lido deck as well? I don't know because I usually do the Friday to Monday, but I do know the Sunday football games are shown in the Heroes Tribute Bar. I don't think they show them out on the big screen unless it's like a Super Bowl or playoff games. I've noticed that in the past, but I think the regular games are shown in the Heroes Tribute Bar. Miss O says, if it rains in Ensenada on port day, do they still let people off? Yeah, I mean, if people want to walk off in the rain, then they'll still port and they'll allow people to get off if they want to. If you see in the forecast that there might be rain, bring a small umbrella or something like that with you. But yeah, they'll definitely still let people go down. Navigator will be in port your weekend. Okay, good deal. Yeah, like I said, this last one, it wasn't there in port, and it's normally there, but we ended up parking in its spot. So there. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so on the last day, Ensenada Port Day, we kind of walked around again, as I mentioned. This one I didn't do a whole lot of videos, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I really kind of took the opportunity to shadow my first timer to for multiple reasons, to help her out and kind of give her guidance, but also to see what she had questions about to help me prepare for future videos and things like that. What are first timers? What do they run into? Like one of the things that was very frustrating for her was navigating the ship. Now I know I made that video like on how to get to the Liquid Lounge. No, sorry, Limelight Lounge and to the Sunset Dining Room. But I may, and this in talking with her, I may do a video just talking about each deck. I know I have that deck by deck overview document. So what I need to do is kind of transfer that. I know earlier they were asking about a ship tour, very difficult, but what I might do is just like a talking point video, just trying to explain what's on each deck and things like that. So I'm still trying to figure that in my mind, how to make it work. But anyway, that was her biggest frustration, which any first timer is going to have, is just navigating the ship and getting around to different places. Anyway, so we went to Berea's La Guadalajara restaurant, ate there for lunch. Again, just walked around. Took her to all the different spots, the Victor's Liquor Store, etc. And we ended the day with massages and massage and facial care. That evening, again, we missed the 'Tis the Season event, the Ugly Sweater Contest, because we had dinner plans at Cucina del Capitano. So first night we went to the steakhouse, which was always great. I did mention the steakhouse. Oh, sorry, Christine. We did have lunch with Christine and her husband. Christine, was very nice to have dinner with you and your husband on that night. And then Cucina, we had, again, our group of friends that were there. We had a couple of friends that surprised us. That was really awesome. Richard and Donna Carrier, thank you that was a wonderful surprise. So they joined us for dinner at Cucina del Capitano the last night. Great food. I got somebody, I think in my last show or somewhere, somebody had mentioned the short rib at Cucina. That's what I got. Delicious. Awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. Whoever that was, very, very good. That's what I got. Again, the holiday event was the 'Tis the Season. That was at 6 p.m. in the Radiance lobby, atrium bar area. And then the 80s Rock and Glow party was at 8:30 p.m. again in that Radiance lobby. I just want to kind of reemphasize, get early, get to all these things early, because that area is very small. For those of you who have been on the ship before, but that area is very small. If you want to be able to sit, very limited seating area, even standing, it's very crowded. So just that would be my advice. All right, let me go to the chat here, and then I'll probably wrap it up here shortly after that if there's no more questions. I hear you'll not be on the December 12th. No, I was just on the December 2nd one. I will not make it on that one. So those of you that interact with me in the roll call groups, I create them mostly for the purpose to be able to share this information through that I have. And if you've noticed recently, I've been trying to get people to come over to the main Facebook group, so that way I can share this information. But prior to that, because that Facebook group used to be just for my YouTube channel, but prior to that, that was my only way to communicate what I'm finding out every month. So that's why I created these Radiance groups. Unfortunately, when other people create them, they're very protective of their groups. So I just said, forget it. If you want, if you don't like it, then create your own group. I'm going to create the groups because I want to be able to share information with the groups. And what made me finally decide to do it, I just really want to say this, is that I was in a group where the admin created the group, had never been on the Radiance, knew nothing about the Radiance, wasn't able to answer questions about the Radiance. And I was in there trying to answer questions and help out. And they took offense to it. Like, it's my group. Why are you in here doing this and stuff? So I said, all right, screw it. So since then, if anybody wants to know, the cat's out of the bag, why I did it, it was that incident there that I said, you know what, forget it. I'll create my own groups, let people come in. People can do whatever they want, stuff like that. But the information needs to be shared. If you can't help people and answer questions, then I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, that was the reason why I started doing that. Hey, Miss O, you're welcome. Jana, it's difficult to attend everything you want to on a 3-day. Just got a book. Yeah, exactly. That's why for me it's nice. That's why I have these monthly things, so that I don't feel rushed, or I feel bad for people that can't travel that often, because when you're on that ship and trying to do everything, it just leads to frustration. So I get it. The bar crawl that we had in October, 32 people. Yeah, that was a good one, Frank. And we had a really good time at that one. Thank you so very much for your answer. Liked and shared your live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hi, Jan, there's so much things to do, not enough time in a day. I'm calling my 3-day cruise a preview. And that's true. That's a good way to look at it, April. It's definitely a good preview cruise. Is the pasta lunch at all comparable to the cucina dinner? No, not at all, Megan. I did a video. It's in one of my embarkation day videos. Not saying that you have to go watch it, where I kind of gave my feedback on it. I don't think so. I actually, Evan and I were just talking about that earlier today before the show, because somebody was asking me. So Josh, I think it was you, Josh. No, somebody was asking me what the hours were for pasta bella, which is the cucina lunch, and I just feel like there's better lunch options available. Whether it's Blue Iguana, Shack's, Guy's Burger. Yeah, for me personally, again, this is just one guy's opinion. I did, and it's definitely not comparable to the cucina dinner for sure. Megan had the pasta lunch, just add salt and pepper. Yeah, and it definitely doesn't have any flavor. But I just, again, if it's a first timer or somebody that's much, I would say, unless you have time, and that's the problem. There's so much food, so many options, and we try to squeeze it in a 3-day, like we were talking about. Bonsai and Seafood Shack. Even willing to pay for food options, but there's just only so much time in the day. So yeah, that's what I base my opinion on. Is that, do you have time? Yeah, because the Alfredo at lunch was pure water, so I didn't want to book the dinner. But no, yeah, definitely not the same. So please don't compare Cucina's dinner to that. Yeah, I agree. No, definitely a different experience at Cucina for dinner. Understood. Maybe I got a bad batch. We had lots of fun food, shows, events, and people stay connected with some through social media and enjoyed our first cruise. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I love cruising, and I'll get to that maybe in my wrap up. Do they still give out the free bottle of wine on the first night of the steakhouse? Yes, they do. But just keep in mind, Michelle, if you're going with a group of people, it's one bottle that per table. If you have a larger group and you talk to the manager, he's really great, and he'll work with you and maybe give you a couple bottles or whatever. But if it's just a small table for, like in November when Evan and I went, there was another couple that we ended up sitting with that I met at the meet and greet and stuff. So we sat with them at that dinner because they were next to us, and we really enjoyed that. But it was just the one bottle for the table. Just keep that in mind if you're sitting with a group. I had to add salt and pepper to my Alfredo pasta. Yeah, definitely bland. Honey, again, thank you. You made it fun and smooth for us. Hope to see you soon on a cruise. I thank you. I appreciate that, and I truly enjoy it. I'll talk about that more in my wrap up. Thank you, honey, for all your tips. Our first cruise was a success because of your advice. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you again. Definitely a pleasure meeting you and your family. I loved your. I don't know if he's probably your oldest. Is that your oldest son? Like he just kept staring like this guy's not on TV anymore. I don't know how you guys watch me on your TV. Like you could just tell like in his mind he was like he's sitting right because I was sitting right there, and you could just tell he kept staring at me like, oh, he's not on TV anymore. So that was kind of funny, but definitely cool kids. Your husband's a really cool guy, good dancer by the way. So definitely enjoyed the family for sure. I watched so many of your videos, helped make some of my port stop decisions. I love that. I love to hear that. I was very happy to have met you in person as well. So what is the earliest they start boarding the ship? Yeah, Josh. So on this last cruise, I just realized that they started boarding the ship. Sorry, I was talking about check-in. 11 o'clock ish. I don't think they've wavered much from that. For at least on the cruises I've been on, consistently on these Friday and Mondays, it's been around 11 o'clock that they start boarding. That's a shame because I looked at it as an advertisement to dinner and I was not sold. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Megan. Yeah, that's a bummer. I really enjoyed the cucina meal. We had a large group, and then they served things family style, and everybody really enjoyed everything they had. So hopefully on the next one you'll give it a try. I mean, for $18, definitely worth doing it. Cruising couple, I like the longer cruises, but the 3 days are a good escape for the hubby stressful work getaways. And that's true. That's how I feel about it. When people ask me about it, it's just a really good break to what I feel is like Groundhog Day for me every day with work. I work from home. This is my office that you're seeing here. My commute is from my bedroom to here. So it's the same routine every morning. I sit here. I don't get a lot of social interaction other than my meetings throughout the day, work meetings, but I don't get a lot of social interaction. Kids are at school, wife's out working, she's a realtor. So I enjoy this, and then getting that activity once a month to go out there and meet people and all that. I love it. So I agree. Honey's awesome. I got on the Facebook page. He tagged a lot of us on the vids. They were awesome. Learn, follow his advice. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do try to make sure to share as much as I can. I know some people probably find it annoying that are not part of this group or whatever. And I don't want to apologize because I'm not doing it for any other reason than to be helpful. And if you don't take the time to find out that that's truly what I'm all about, then I really don't care what your thoughts and opinions are. I know some people probably in the roll call groups kind of get sick and tired of seeing some of the posts and things like that. But again, all I could just say is just ignore them and move on to the next one. So which day was 'Tis the Season? On the Friday to Monday, Josh, it was on Sunday at 6 o'clock. If not, if you're on the 4-day, go look at the 4-day activity schedule that I have in the Facebook group. I don't remember what day it was on, but on the 3-day, it was on Sunday. Thank you, April. See that? Lunch is just a pasta bar. Literally just a pasta bar, Jenna. Yeah, it's just a pasta bar, so you don't get the option of ordering all the other stuff that you could from Cucina. So very good point. Very good point. You're welcome, Michelle. I was super bummed I never got sat with others, even though I chose share table. Oh, really? That's interesting. They just put you at the table for two. Is that what happened on that one? Yeah, it was me. Okay, yeah. I thought so. You were asking me about Pasta Bella. Can't wait to watch any Horizon videos we have coming for our July cruise, Nikki and Eric. I made a few, and what I have is what I have. So I don't know if you've been on my YouTube channel. I didn't make a lot. I did one for the Grand Cayman Stingray, and that's it. And the reason why I didn't, because I was there with like 60 plus people, majority of them other vloggers, and there was just going to be a ton of content being put out. And I wanted to enjoy it because that was like 2+ years in the making, and a lot of these people I've been interacting with for a long time. So I wanted to enjoy the moment. So I didn't vlog very much on that one. So what you see on my channel is pretty much all there is to it. I just didn't make a whole lot because I knew other vloggers were going to make videos. And it just was like every time we were at a dinner or an event, there was like 1,000 cameras. And as you guys know, I love the me talking and the connection with you guys. And when there's other people talking, it doesn't work. So yeah, what I have is what I have. Sorry, Nikki and Eric. Thank you. Yes, that was my oldest son, Riley. He was so amazed by you. Riley, okay. Well, tell Riley it was very, very cool meeting him. It was so funny. Like I said, he was just staring at me. Hey, Blaine knows how it is when you're cruising with a bunch of different vloggers. And yeah, it's very tough to do that. I bought Faster to Fun as first-time cruise. Is it worth it? You know, I haven't used it recently and purchased it recently. I don't need to anymore because you're basically buying platinum status or platinum diamond status. Um, the one and only time I bought it was early on when we started cruising. I think we were doing a 4 day. Yeah, it had to have been a 4 day because we were going to Catalina. So we booked a 4 day with some friends, and our friends had bought Faster the Fun. So they're like, "Hey, can you get Faster the Fun so we can make sure we get off the ship together in Catalina, etc." You know, because we had a golf, we were doing golf cart rental and stuff. Honestly, I didn't. You know, maybe we could have just got off early by just waking. I don't, you know, whatever. I just didn't see the, and that time I didn't see the benefit to it. You know, I wasn't in a big rush to get on the ship and, you know, all those things. So I guess it really is individually what you feel like. Is it, if you're in a rush to do stuff, try to get on the ship quickly, try to get to the ports quickly and all that stuff, it might be worth it. I heard the cost has gone up. To me, that's money that I would much rather spend in specialty dining or something else. Again, me personally, I say try it, see what you think of it, but and then you can decide in the future. But to me, I would much rather spend that money. Somebody had asked me this question recently, so I was kind of prepared to answer this. Is that I think it's money spent better in maybe like specialty dining and stuff. So if you enjoy dining, yes, I will. What was that too? Sorry, I hate when I get behind and I don't remember what the comment was too. So I must say I've been enjoying planning my maiden cruise voyage thanks to your videos, posts, and advice. Thank you. Can't wait for February. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Thanks, Blaine. Appreciate you, bud. I also WFH. This cruise had more steps in 3 days than in a month while I'm working. Yeah, that's true. It's funny because you know, people are like, oh, you know, I guess if you don't take, you know, stairs or do a whole lot of walking, I could see where some people gain weight or gain a lot of weight on these cruises, because especially the longer ones. Luckily for me, I tend to break even. Even though I enjoy myself, I eat, you know, this and that. I If nothing else, because I walk a ton, I take the steps as much as I can, purposely, because I want to be able to enjoy myself and not have to pack on extra pounds that I got to lose on top of the ones that I still want to lose. But yeah, I definitely burned up my Apple Watch with this step. Never apologize. That's what we are here for. Share advice to help others also helps us from East Coast who have never been on Radiance and others. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yep. First time cruisers, here's a tip: have your boarding pass out when you're in the terminal. Yeah, that's definitely a good one, and I think the reason why April's saying that. So we're holding strong at 50 something. So I'll continue on as long as you guys want me to. So we'll sit here and chat. Again, I appreciate it, and I'm very humbled by the amount of people that want to sit here and listen to me talk. So I appreciate that. But this is really a good tip from April, and the reason why is they check it multiple times. They check it coming in. They check it at the table, you know, the tabletop when they're checking your passport or other travel documents. You go through security. They'll check it again right after security before you walk into the terminal. They'll check it again as you start boarding, when you're boarding the ship. And when you go upstairs, the final, like where they scan your face one more time before you get on the gangway, they check your boarding pass again. So that's exactly why April's saying that. It's checked multiple times. Keep it out and handy. Very good advice from that first timer. Also, another tip is to bring a lanyard for your sign and sail card. Prepay gratuities beforehand so you don't need to worry about it later. Absolutely. The lanyard thing is definitely a good thing to have handy. As you saw, I stopped wearing it because it was just like, especially when I'm, you know, I love to attend the deck parties and the dancing and this and that, and that dang lanyard, I feel like it's choking me sometimes. So I stopped wearing it for that reason, but it's definitely handy. Prepay the gratuities beforehand. Oh, okay, so let me just comment on that. I stopped doing that. I used to. Evan likes to prepay as much as he can, just because he doesn't want the bill afterwards and all that. I stopped doing the prepaid gratuities, well, for this reason. If you are going to get onboard credit for any reason, shareholders, if you're a shareholder and you get the credit, or the promotion gives you some kind of onboard credit, your travel agent gives you some kind of onboard credit, that onboard credit can be used towards your gratuities. So I just figure, you know, and luckily I get really good chunks of onboard credit through my casino deals. So I just let let the gratuities get eaten by the or the onboard credit eat away at that gratuity. So that would be the only time I would say don't prepay them, is if you'd rather just use your onboard credit towards that. So yes, April, you need your boarding pass up until your size. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then of course, yeah, when you're getting drinks and stuff. Riley's watching with me right now. Hi, Riley. um, yeah, very cool. My son Riley said hello to you, honey. He said it was good to see you in person. Likewise, Riley. It was it's definitely my pleasure meeting you as well. Placing your card on a protective case, mine peels off. Yeah, you know what? I think a few cruises back, I had an issue where, and a few people had an issue. I don't know if it was a problem with the printer or a certain amount of cards get printed and this and that, but people were having some issues with the protective film or whatever peeling off of the cards. Just putting in a protective case, my kid's plastic peeled off as well. Yeah, so that's definitely a good reason to have the lanyard. Thank you for the advice as well. Kind of sad everything is in the lobby instead of the leader deck. It's so tight. Yeah, Josh, I agree. Again, I try to be. I do know that there are people from Carnival that are connected to me. They obviously watch my videos. They're very well aware of my videos. They made me well aware that they watch my videos, which is great. Listen, I've told them, listen, I don't get paid by Carnival. I'm not like John Hild. I don't have to only tell you what corporate tells me to tell you, right? And I'm not knocking John. It's just that's his job, right? And he has to do what corporate tells him to do. I don't work for Carnival, and so I'm going to be honest. Of course, I love Carnival. I'm a shareholder, a stockholder, so I'm going to be pot. But I'm also going to tell you and be honest with you. I do not like the idea. I know that's how they used to do things. When we were on the Vista in 2019 with Kindle Fire, and she was doing the 80s party and all that. But it was fine. It didn't feel cramped. We had a really good stay. That area is not a good area on the Radiance. So I did meet the new entertainment director that just came on the ship. Really nice guy. We chatted for quite some time at the holiday show, I think it was. So I don't know that he can do a whole lot. I need to find out more. So maybe when I go back in January, I'm sure we'll talk again, and I'll just ask them, is this a temporary thing? Do they plan on going back? Is it because of the cold weather? Was it because they're expecting rain? I just want to know if that, or are they trying to go back to pre-COVID days and that's what they want to do? Anyway, I'd like to find out more. I'm not a big fan of bringing these large groups inside that atrium area. Speaking of passports, if you have not used your passport in a while, make sure it's not out of date. They will not let you board. Yeah, good point. I like your Facebook page for a lot of reasons, but the top reason is no rude and complaining people like on the other pages. Yeah, and I'm gonna do my best to keep it that way. I can't read every comment and every post. I try to look through, like you'll notice, I'll do a like, and that lets me know that I read the post. But to read through every comment of every post, it's impossible. I would hope that our little community in that Facebook group would report any type of behavior like that, because I won't accept it. It's one and done. I know sometimes people think it's funny and joking and this and that, and I'll take it on a case by case basis. But when you're just clearly rude, I noticed it in a Panorama group just recently that I moderate in, and this guy was just attacking this lady, and it's like, if you don't like it, just move on. Why are you being so rude and vicious? So yeah, I would not tolerate that at all. The admin chose just to suspend them and let them come back. To me, nope, sorry, that's a bye-bye if you start acting like that. So also, there's a laundry room. I did laundry on my second night and it's worth it. Yes. And for a cheap plug, I do have a video about the laundry rooms. Are you allowed to bring drinking soda or water inside the terminal? Yes, you can bring soda and you can bring water if it's in a can. If it's in a can or not, it just can't be in plastic bottles. They have water fountains in there if you need water, but you could bring your soda, the 12-pack of soda. I like to put them in my little. What's up? Be right back. Okay, so I didn't have this last time when I was doing the live show. I was trying to explain what. So this is what I bring. Those of you that cruise with me have probably seen me with it. So this is my little chartered bag, but so I can fit a ton of soda in here. And the reason why is I brought the cardboard when it started ripping, and oh my gosh, it was a mess. So I just take all the cans and squeeze them into my backpack, and I was like, oh, never again. So I ordered that. I put my cans of soda in there, my Dr. Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I bring those in there, and it works out great. So, pro tip: get one of those instead of trying to mess with these cardboard cartons. Love that they had the laundry room. Yeah. No, you're not allowed to bring bottled water terminal. I know firsthand because my water bottles were thrown away. April, you should have known better, young Jedi. You should have known better. I mean, you've literally watched probably almost every one of my videos, attended all of my lives, read every document. You should have known better, unless you're trying to sneak it in. I didn't do prepaid duty on the Carnival celebration a couple weeks ago, so I could use my onboard credit. Great point. Yeah, it's just something that if you wait, I'm a shareholder. Are you a shareholder? Did you buy credit? So to get the onboard credit, you have to have 100 shares of Carnival stock. That's what I was talking about. So if you have, so is that a question, or are you saying you're a shareholder? So yeah, if you have the 100 shares of Carnival stock, then you're eligible for the onboard credit. Not all the time. Like these next two cruises, because I have such a large amount of onboard credit, they denied me. But yeah, but typically you would get on the shorter ones, it's $50, $100 on the 7-day, and then for the long ones, it's like $200, something like that. Okay, this was the same question as earlier. Yeah. So you could definitely bring soda, but not water bottles, unless the water's in the can. Thanks for the insight. Can't wait for my January 60 cent. You're welcome, Joey. Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you, Honey. Riley was super happy you said hi to him. Oh, very cool. Very nice. Can the shareholder onboard credit still get applied if you are using casino promos? I never just tried assuming that. So most of my bookings, if not all, are casino promos. It really depends on how much onboard credit they give you. So I just try every time, even though this one I had, $500 onboard credit. These next two, I still tried, because in the past, there's been times where they still gave it to me. And then I've also where I've been denied, and then I resubmit and they've accepted it. So I would say just keep trying. I mean, worst case, they say no, right? And it's a really easy process. You just send an email. So can you still get the shareholder benefit when you use a casino rent? I haven't been getting it. Michelle, yeah. So that's what I was just saying earlier. I try, and most of the time I've been successful in getting it. These next two I've been denied. I'm going to resubmit and see if maybe somebody else will give it to me. I've resubmitted before and it's been approved. So I would say just try it. Worst case, they say no. So, or try again. In your case, I think you said you haven't been getting it. Are the drinks while you play in casino for price? Yes, unless you have drinks on us in the casino, and that you can either get that through a promotion, or you can earn it by getting 1,000 points in the casino. So you can either have it as part of your promotion deal that you book under, or by earning 1,000 points in the casino, you automatically would get drinks on us. Then it's free. But until then, yes, you pay full price. Which is crazy. I was just having this conversation with somebody. You would think they would want you to drink and make mistakes and gamble more money than you wanted to. But yeah, that's because they probably think that people would just sit in there and just like they do in Vegas sometimes, right? Sit at the machine, pretend they're playing. You get the free drink and then move on. It's so much better on the deck, especially ratings. I agree, Josh, man. You preaching to the choir for sure, man. Definitely preaching to the choir on that one. I forgot it was in my bag. Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were trying to pull. Yes. Okay. Did you get the 100 shares? So yeah, you could definitely submit for your next cruise. If you have the 100 shares, you can submit. If you need help, just hit me up on Facebook. And I'll walk you through it and help you out. So just let me know, April. I'll help you out on your next one. Sal, one last question. I was told the real ID birth certificate will work since I don't have a passport. Is this true? Well, yeah, all you need is a birth certificate and an ID. So the real ID would qualify as an ID. Who told you? Oh, you were just asking, is it true? I thought you said it. Somebody said it was. Yeah, since I don't have a passport. Yeah, it'll be fine. If you look at the, if you go to their help menu, they have a really good section in the help file for Carnival. It talks about all the different travel documents and the combinations and stuff like that. But a birth certificate ID will work if you don't have a passport. Hey, Masrad, super cool meeting you on board, man. Likewise, I don't recognize Masrad. I don't. So if you want to tell me your name or whatever, or where we met, but super cool meeting. Everybody I met was super cool. I'll talk about that in the wrap up. Yes, Sal, it's true. Planning our second cruise. What will be the best way to book? Our first one we did through our AAA agent. I saw they have lots of deals now. Listen, this is a tough question for me. I've tried. I used to book by myself. Book myself, and then I started using a travel agent, and then currently I use a personal Carnival personal vacation planner. The reason why I transitioned from a travel agent to a personal vacation planner, main reason why, was that, and I don't know if there's still long wait times, but during when all these changes were being made and people were shifting things around and all that stuff, there was just long wait times for customer service. And again, I don't know if it's still a problem. And so the personal vacation planners can do a lot of those changes. I'm just an impatient person, honestly, when it comes to things like that. Like when I want to make a change, especially when I'm trying to do things last minute, I need the change to be made. And so I ran into an issue where I was trying to get a change made, it couldn't be made, or the travel agent couldn't find the same rate that I could. So it was just like, anyway, I don't endorse any one way. I have a lot of friends that are travel agents. I know a few different personal vacation planners. I just tell people, try them all. Try booking yourself. Try a travel agent. Try a personal vacation planner and see what fits for you. Right now, the personal vacation planner thing works because she's able to make the changes quick and easy for me, and that just works for me. No, says the real ID was sufficient for me on the trip last week. I had my birth certificate, but they preferred my ID. Just my experience, though. Okay, so did you have that? I just want to make sure I read this correctly. So I had my birth certificate, but they preferred my ID. Oh, over the birth certificate. So, gotcha. So, but there wasn't an issue with using a real ID. In this case, they just preferred it over. Okay, I just want to make sure I was reading that correctly. So there was no issue of using real ID with the birth certificate, right? I just want to make sure I didn't tell the other person, was it Sal, that I didn't give Sal bad info. So as far as I know, you can use the two, right? All right. So let me while we're waiting to see if there's any other questions. So if you guys have any other questions or any other comments, I'm going to go ahead and probably wrap up here. So again, I truly enjoy doing this. Those people that I've met, I love cruising. I love sharing in this information. I love meeting people when I'm on the ship. So all the people that have come up to me, said hello, that I meet at the meet and greets, that I meet at the bar crawls, meet at the different events. I truly treasure those things. For me, I consider this a cruise family. The conversation that I always have with people is that I just feel like you almost have to, aside of what April unfortunately experienced at the comedy show, the little things that happen here and there. For the most part, most cruisers are really nice, friendly people, helpful people, and it's you have to try not to make friends when you go on a cruise. You really do. If you're an introvert, I get it and that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's very easy to make friends. Cruisers are just a different breed, and I truly enjoy that, and I love that. So dealing with Carnival is the best way we try with a travel agent, and it's really hard to get everybody linked together to get things done. Yeah, and that's the thing, whether it's directly through Carnival, through the PVP that I mentioned, I just found it to be a little bit easier, for sure. It's faster than worth getting if you have kids with you. Well, it's based on the cabin, right? If I remember correctly. So, but listen, you have young kids. I can tell you, even now as two teenagers and a 10-year-old, it's hard to get people. So even if I bought faster to the fun, they're not faster to the fun. When you have kids or a large family or that kind of thing, they move at their own pace. So, and that was what I experienced in my story that I gave earlier. Other than rushing, right? Because our friends had asked us to kind of rush to get out there because they really want to get to that golf cart, like, right away, that kind of thing, which is fine, whatever, right? But we're not the types that like to rush. We're on vacation, and there was no rush. So, and again, with 3 daughters that need the time to get ready and this and that, my wife, I'm not rushing them. I'm not rushing them to the fun. We're gonna have fun regardless of the status. So that's my take on it. I just, yeah, that's my take on it. So again, with the young kids and stuff, I don't know if you're going to benefit from it. I guess what I was trying to say there is, I don't know if you're going to get the benefit from it if it's taking you guys time to get out and get to these things. If you're able to get everybody in and out of that door and enjoy the perks of the Fast Love Fun, I say, hey, go for it. My travel agent dropped the ball during our opportunity for a room upgrade, so I'm trying my next trip booking on my own. Yeah, and definitely try that. And then, if you felt like you needed somebody else, go ahead and give a personal vacation planner a try as well. So it happens. Those type of, it's tough. When people were telling me, hey, you should be a travel agent. You've got this medium, you got this. I don't want that responsibility, right? I mean, I have a full-time job that I'm very happy with, but I don't want the responsibility of ruining potentially, and that's why I'm very careful with the information I put out, and always trying to update and keep things, because I don't want to be the result of somebody having a bad vacation. So yeah, so the travel agent thing, that's a tough call. Thanks everyone. Can't wait for this birthday cruise this weekend. Cheers to you, Sal. Enjoy that, and happy birthday in advance. Thank you for you're welcome, Jen. I truly appreciate that. Thank you for hosting these. Super helpful. Have a good night. Good night. Thank you so much, Kristen. My pleasure. This has been a great live. Gonna get going, but glad I caught the live. Thank you, Blaine. Appreciate you in here. Appreciate your support as always. We always book on our own on Carnival's website. Yeah. It's just sometimes easier. So, all right, we're starting to wind down. You're welcome, Andrew. Thank you for being here. So we're starting to wind down. I think we're, we're at 9:39 my time, 8:39. So well over an hour and a half. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all. So just make sure that if you know anybody else that's going on any Long Beach cruise, a cruise out of Long Beach, make sure to have them come over to the Facebook group, have them subscribe to the channel, watch the videos. I appreciate you, and let's keep this community growing. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye now. Oh, hang on. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Thanks for the chat, and thank you. Have a good night. Cheers. Good night.